Hey kitties, it's Sightam Tigers back here with Ambre, and we're gonna jump right into it. When she opened her eyes, the little girl rushed again in the living room to watch a tape, a Disney film. Depending on her mood, she chose one with the animals or one with the couple who lived happily ever after. Often she watched Snow White or The Little Mermaid. Ambre loved the idea of a glass coffin containing a body which would not grow old despite death, but that would remain always young and beautiful, lying in wait for the magical kiss that would free her of her prison, changing the course of her story and spiriting her away from the common hut of proletarian dwarfs who, while friendly, were also rough. She loved it, just as she loved the idea of a beautiful and rebellious mermaid swimming through the oceans, looking for treasures but sacrificing her freedom for the man in her life, about whom she had fantasized thousands of times. The beautiful and rebellious mermaid never listened to anyone, which reminded her of her own condition. She too was a sweet and capricious young woman. She played these movies in a loop, day after day until snack time came. But then, tired of their idyllic images, she dug into the sweets of that Tristan brought her. Cupcakes, colorful I can't say that word right now. I know the word, I just can't say it. Pastries, bread, and Nutella. Hey, Nutella! Of course, she ate in front of the television. There were cartoons at this time as well. As it was getting late, she finally pushed the off button to resume her fantasies elsewhere in her room, wielding her dolls with skill, perfectly depicting the course of her dreams. But the high point of each day was surely when Tristan finally returned from work. She knew he was there from the creaking of the door. She would rush into the living room, and, all joyous, she would throw herself at him, timidly at first, but then more enthusiasm over the weeks. She loved being carried on his shoulders to mimic the airplane and to fly through the flat until they crashed onto the bed, laughing. Playing together was so much fun. With her friend, she could give life to her characters more easily. Her favorites, playing Mummy and Daddy. Ambre took the role of the mother and always took good care of the well-being of a child. A PVC doll with dead eyes, supposed to embody an adorable little baby. She washed him, changed him, and cuddled him, and gave him a bottle. Tristan had took the role of a father. He had to read the newspaper in the kitchen while waiting for his wife to cook him a good meal, a role which hardly got him involved, but he was very well satisfied with that. Amber took her task very seriously. She had the lead role after all. Therefore, she served her imaginary husband plastic fries and fruits with a bossy pout. He appreciated the gesture. However, the real meal was left to Tristan's charge once the game ended, a meal which the little girl took an opportunity to tell the rest of her fabulous adventures. Tristan only had to listen to her with a smile on his face, but he required her to go to the bathroom and wash up and brush her teeth. Ombre always grumbled at the bathroom's time, but her sexless mermaid Barbie quickly helped her to forget the inconvenience. More than once, she shyly waited for the 30-year-old man to come close enough for her to shoot him with a fish-shaped water gun. Innocent laughter would ensue. Then he tucked her into her big princess bed while telling her a story, usually a fairy tale. In those moments, she blinked more and more slowly, looking at him with a touching expression. It could make Tristan melt from cuteness. He was careful not to close the door all the way. The corridor's light would hunt the monsters which could disturb Ombre's sleep. It was a specific request. She was fearful. The 30-year-old man had to protect her from the ghost at the slightest shout. That was his promise to her. Before going to sleep, Tristan Mallory found some comfort in seeing her asleep. He hoped that her sleep would be inhabited with nice dreams and that she wouldn't forget him, that she would think about him in whatever way it may be. Could she even feel his presence, or how much he cared for her? This game is still weird. Like, it gets weird, like, on and off. Like, at first it's really cute, and then it gets weird again, and I'm like, what? The schedule allowed the weekend to turn into more festive time. It was more time for outings. It was out of the question for Ambre to be bored, that she stayed indoor again in the tight and bleak flat. She had to see some landscape. So they went to the lively places, the pool, the amusement park, the ice rink, the cinema, restaurants. She had to try everything. Every week was a different universe. Running along at a brisk pace with the impeccable polished shoes, the little girl jumped from ride to ride while hanging on Tristan's arm. It warmed his heart to see her having innocent fun. In front of a smile that big, he could only imitate the little girl's good mood despite himself. Often, when she asked for dessert, a pancake, or an ice cream, he saw at the corner of his eye that she had whipped cream on her face. Temptation to lick the dab of ice cream from the tip of her nose and the corner of her eye was nearly too much. Such a thing, both childish and unhealthy, tickled his darkest thoughts, most pitiful thoughts. However hard he rejected them, his hands became sweaty and trembling, confessing his torment. But Ambre could understand. Ambre was a little girl, only a little girl. What? The few months by the breakneck speed. See, that was what I meant by it was getting weird. Tristan refused to admit it, but his young charge was growing. He wanted to ignore the fact, to close his eyes, but the unsubtle passage of time had already done its work. Ambre was going through a strange crisis. That evening she was particularly angry and proclaimed vigorously, I don't want to be a child anymore. How so? I want to become older. She had plenty of time for this, Ambre. But I want to grow faster and I could do more things. 30-year-old man sighed. He obviously did not know how to answer such assertions. He had never had a child and he was not very good with placating others, regardless. Taken aback, he left the girl to pout in the living room while he went to take a long, relaxing shower. While he was soothing his worries in a rush of hot water, she was seething. It's not fair. I wish I could be older right now. If I only had a model. I wonder what Tristan's wife looked like. For example, I'm sure she was kind. But he never wants to talk about her. He avoids the subject. Maybe he's hiding something. Intrigued, Ambre took the advantage of his absence to open a door she had never touched before. Inside was a big lead notebook. She was sure she had found a treasure, so she took it and opened it. It was a photo album. Spread on the pages were bright smiles and tender gestures. Oh. Browsing the pictures, the little girl discovered her guardian, young and fresh, in the arms of a coquettish young lady. Dressed soberly and tastefully, she was strolling along the seashore with a shawl on her shoulder. Another picture showed her in the park, holding an ice cream. But what caught her eye was one specific picture that towered in the center of the page. Tristan wearing a suit and leading his lover out of church with the clumsy footsteps under a shower of flower petals. She looked so happy, so fulfilled in her big and refined white dress that Ambre was stupefied. Even more so because the bride looked exactly like her. She's so pretty. What are you looking at? Tristan's sudden appearance made her jump so quickly that she dropped the forbidden object. 30-year-old man's gaze darkened immediately. You searched through the closet to see what my wife looked like, didn't you? She answered shakily, in a voice of guilt. Yes. Are you going to scold me? Of course not. I just would have preferred you didn't see it. Why? Why don't you ever tell me about her? I want to know. He sighed, appearing upset as he looked into the begging eyes that he had never been able to resist for long. Reluctantly, he sat down on the couch and told her how he had met the one he thought would be his lifelong partner, and related all that had gone through together. Ambre listened with a wide-eyed attention. She liked the story very much. Tristan seemed to get younger as he evoked the past, describing how head over heels for her he had been, how happy she made him. Her peaceful and ordinary everyday life was something the little girl envied. Caught up in the tale, she couldn't help but pressure him. And then, what happened? Until the light shining in the man's green eyes brutally vanished. Then, she got away. Where to? Far away, to a place I can't reach anymore. Every day I pray that she'll somehow hear me, that she'll wake up, that she'll remember me. I don't know if she'll emerge from that dream. It's keeping her captive. Is she dead? Sometimes it feels like it, but no, she's alive, in a different world from mine. If I could have joined her, I would have. I would have sacrificed everything for her, and today she's forgotten me forever. That's sad. Tristan sighed again, head down, as a heavy, crushing silence came between them. Ambre stared at the photo, bewitched by the woman's smile. Deep down in her heart, she had not thought, if I was older, I could replace Tristan's wife, and he wouldn't be sad anymore. And that's where it's getting weird, and that's where I'm gonna stop that. No more. Put that right there, and yeah.